Good morning and welcome to Purdue University Northwest. Will those who are able please stand for the singing of our national anthem? Chancellor Kean, the convocation of Purdue University Northwest 4th Commencement is assembled. Please be seated.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise, the culmination of Purdue Northwest students' success, and indeed one of the proudest days in the lives of our graduates and their families. For today's commencement, some of you have traveled across town, others from across the world, and many from in between. Today is a celebration and recognition, a day of applauding achievement, a day of proud reflection, and perhaps even shedding a tear or two of joy. And of course, this is the day you receive your Cherish diploma. Candidates, I applaud you on your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Graduation is not a celebration, however, that is exclusive to those just receiving the diploma. Before we continue this celebration, I invite our graduate candidates to offer their heartfelt, thankful applause for the support they received from parents, family, friends, and others who in various ways have made this day possible. Candidates, would you please join me in saluting them? Purdue Northwest is honored to have some special guests today to help celebrate our graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome our Purdue Northwest legacy families. Each PNW legacy family has a second generation, and in some instances, third generation candidate participating in our ceremony today. They are your sons, daughters, siblings, grandchildren. We are grateful to the tradition that continues today and share your pride in all the graduates. Will the legacy families please stand? My lone instruction of the day is to ask that all in attendance be respectful as we read the names of each graduate, so that each of you will be able to hear the name of your graduate. Thank you for that. Several individuals whose leadership is vital to Purdue Northwest are seated on the platform. Inasmuch as they will not be introduced later, I want to take this opportunity to introduce them now. As I do, I will ask them to stand and remain standing. I also will invite you to recognize them with their applause after they have all been introduced. Our Grand Marshal, Dr. Jeff Schultz. Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance, Mr. Stephen Turner. Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Dr. Carmen Panlilio. Vice Chancellor for Advancement and the presenter of our candidates, Dr. Regina Biddings-Moreau. Vice Chancellor for Information Services, Mr. Tim Winders. And our diploma marshals, Ms. Cheryl Arroyo and Ms. Roberta Allen. Outstanding, dedicated faculty serve the students of Purdue University Northwest. Through their teaching, research, and engagement in our faculty, research, and further success of our students. For that, I invite the members of our hardworking faculty to please stand and be recognized. Alexis Vasquez Diedlo joins us this morning as our guest speaker. Raised in Gary and East Chicago, Indiana, Alexis graduated from Purdue University Northwest with highest distinction in 1994, earning her bachelor's degree in political science and government. Alexis went on to earn her Juris Doctorate from the John Marshall Law School in 2002, having received academic scholarships. From 2006 to 2017, she had a private practice in Lake County, Indiana, with emphasis in family and criminal law. She also served as a family law mediator and guardian ad litem. In 2017, Alexis was sworn in as a referee to the State Lake Superior Court Juvenile Division. As a judicial officer, Alexis now decides disputes between parties and oversees cases involving children. Alexis is a past board member of the Lake County Drug-Free Alliance, Parents as Teachers, Bishop Noel Institute, Trade Winds, Haven House, and the Hispanic Organization Promoting Excellence. Alexis Vasquez Diedlo is majority owner of the radio station WJOB, AM 1230 and 104 FM in Hammond, Indiana. She's married to James and has 3 children. Please join me in welcoming Alexis to the podium.
Thank you. I feel like I don't have much else to say now. He's given you my whole life. Thank you to Chancellor Keon, the Board of Trustees, and to the entire Purdue Northwest for allowing me to speak to you today. As I look out at this very impressive group of graduates, I am well aware of the hard work and sacrifice that it took to get you here today. It takes me back to, yes, 1994, the day I graduated from Purdue Northwest. And while I am sure that some of you weren't even born yet, let me assure you that we have more in common than you may think. On graduation day back in '94, I did the walk around the lawn outside the Union with my 8th grade son and 18-month-old daughter. I had given birth to her mid-semester. I took a midterm on Wednesday, had the baby on Thursday, and took another midterm the following Tuesday. Believe me, I tried to get out of that midterm on that following Tuesday, and a professor who will go unnamed said no. I complained about it later, but I still got my A. So there were a few places on campus back then to nurse babies, and it was a challenge, although a few days before graduating from here, I had found out that I was going to have another child. Graduation day at Purdue Northwest was one of the happiest days of my entire life. Needless to say, I was not your typical college student, but I was part of a group of students, most of us raised in the region, most of us from blue-collar backgrounds, and some of us first-generation Americans, who, like you, had the support of many to get us through our studies, your parents, spouses, friends, maybe even your children. They all endured our endless hours away from home, our study sessions, our moody, stressed-out meltdowns, and the financial sacrifice that it takes to get through college. As I stand before you today, I can't help but ask, how did I get here? I'm not sure that I have an answer for you, but let me give you a little bit of my background. Maybe we can all learn something from it. My parents were raised in Mexico. They came to Northwest Indiana, like many, looking for a better life and hopeful for a better future. They raised 7 children in Gary and East Chicago. My parents taught us the value of hard work and the value of a good education. They taught us that no job was too menial and that no task was too difficult. My father worked in a steel mill for 35 years. Every once in a while, I run into an aging steel worker who will stop me and say, "Your dad Shorty was my foreman." And man, he was a real, you can fill in the blank. My dad's about this tall, and he feared no man. I try every day to emulate this part of my dad's character. My mom stayed home most of the day, and at night she cooked at El Taco Real restaurant right over here in Hammond. As kids, we didn't go out for dinner. My mom and dad couldn't afford it, but believe me when I tell you that we ate the best Mexican food in the region, right in our own home. My mom made and still makes the best enchiladas, flautas, tamales, y carne de puerco tacos on her own little stove. If you go in her kitchen, you better be able to speak some Spanish, or you may wind up with a bunch of food you never asked for. As children, we were expected to contribute to the household. As teenagers, we all found jobs. We waitressed, delivered papers, cleaned the local church. We even ironed clothes for people. If we wanted to go out with our friends, we had to run the gauntlet of a long list of often impossible chores for my mother. There are overprotective mothers in all cultures. They will do everything in their power to protect you from the evils of the world, and they like keeping us home as long as possible. My parents sacrificed to pay for our Catholic education. My father demanded straight A's, and I met his demands. I had a scholarship to Purdue Lafayette, but when it was time to leave home, I was afraid. Instead, I got married straight out of high school, and by the age of 19, I had a baby boy. My parents were disappointed, to say the least, but I was afraid and yet arrogant. I thought I knew it all, and no one could convince me otherwise. Perhaps some of the parents can relate with that when it comes to their kids. A few years later, I was a young single mom with a 5-year-old child to support. I was fortunate enough to have a family to return to, and parents who didn't say, "I told you so," too often. But there I was, 24 years old and living with my parents, so I hit the road running. As much as I loved my parents, I did not want to live with them. I waitressed during the day, bartended at night, and in between attended secretarial school. For 2 years, I barely saw my son. However, at least I knew he was eating well. Eventually, I got a job as an office administrator for a Lake County judge. This was my first exposure to the legal system. At the beginning, it was very intimidating. I met court reporters, lawyers, probation officers, and other judges. But as I grew comfortable in my new surroundings, I began to imagine that I could be a lawyer. After all, from the looks of some of our local Lake County lawyers, how hard could it be? Of course, I never told any of the lawyers that I met or the judge that I worked for about my secret dream to pursue a career in law. After all, I was almost 30 years old, and I still didn't even have my undergraduate degree. I began taking classes at Purdue Northwest, part-time at first, and then full-time, majoring in political science, minoring in criminology and women's studies. It was here at Purdue that I found my voice and confidence that I didn't even know I had. I entered John Marshall Law School in a 5-year part-time program. It sounds arduous, but after everyone went to bed, I would spread all my papers and books on the kitchen table in our 800-square-foot home and study. When I finally marched to bed, I felt a strange peace. The law does that to you. If you immerse yourself in it completely, you can't wait to get back to it. I graduated law school at the sprite age of 41. In a curious set of circumstances that I'll save for another day, I wound up buying 2 local radio stations. Look to the north, and you'll see a 400-foot tower. That's WJOB, AM 1230. It had once been a proud region radio station, but it had fallen on really hard times. Few people were listening. In an act of daring and ignorance, because sometimes you need a little bit of ignorance to keep you from being too afraid, I became majority owner and manager of 2 radio stations. 3 years later, when I left to pursue my law career, the stations were making money and were once again the voice of the region. I built a private law practice with a focus on family law. Last year, I became a referee in the Lake County Juvenile Courts. Every day, I wear a robe, and now the lawyers call me judge. As I stand before you today, I must admit that some days I still can't believe what's happened. So I guess you could call this a Latina's short version of how did I get here? This is my story. This is how I got to be your commencement speaker. Now here's some lessons you can forget on your way out of here. 1, cherish your missteps. You will make many. It's not that you make mistakes, it's how you will deal with them. This isn't something that you're taught in most ethnic households, but to move forward, you have to forgive your missteps. The day my son and I moved back in with my parents, I knew that I had to forgo the self-pity and just move forward. It's easier than you might think, especially if you don't have any other choice. 2, step out of your comfort zone. You have been comfortable here for the past couple of years as you studied furiously to finish up. Now what? There will be opportunities you didn't plan for. If you go in with an open mind, you might discover things you never thought possible. Once again, taken from my story, there was an opportunity to buy 2 failing radio stations and rebuild them. I closed my eyes and jumped into the deep end. 14 years later, you can drive around the corner of the WJOB AM and FM studios at the Purdue Commercialization Center. We teach broadcasting classes there and air Purdue Northwest games on the radio and in video on-stream media. Purdue and WJOB, they go hand in hand into the future. Who would have thought it? Certainly not me. 3, accept who you are, where you came from, and own it. Purdue Northwest is the most diverse campus in Indiana, at least in my opinion. You can walk down the halls and hear 4 different languages in 5 steps. Many of you come from foreign countries. Many of you are the first in your family to graduate college. This diversity is one of the biggest strengths of Purdue Northwest. Believe me, I know the doubt that comes with being a minority woman. And I also know what is possible if you can overcome the doubt. The world has changed. If you are a minority in some way, you don't get to use that as an excuse. It's part of your strength. Use it. 4, it could be summed up in one word: familia, family. One way or another, you didn't get to this day without some help along the way. Recognize this. Don't forget it. Thank your parents, your spouse, your family, your friends. Thank anyone who made this journey just a little easier, including your professors, your counselors, the staff in and around this campus. That's what I'm doing by giving this speech that you will forget by next week or before you even leave. I am thankful and thanking all of these people. You know who you are. There are more lessons I could pluck out of my journey, but just know this: I am completely humbled and honored to speak to you today. I still can't believe that Chancellor Keon asked me to do it, and know that I went from broke single mom to court referee and owner of 2 radio stations. Anything is possible if you just remember the 4 lessons I told you. What are they again? I hope you were paying attention, because there is just one more pop quiz at the end of this ceremony. Congratulations to the class of 2018, and good luck to you.
Alexis, thank you so much. I always like to have our speaker be a graduate of the university. I think what we heard was a lot of determination, innovation, and maybe a little kick somewhere from mom. So thank you so much. For the introduction of academic degrees, I now invite Professor Saul Lerner, representing the faculty of Purdue University Northwest.
Chancellor Keon, Trustee D. Krieger, Provost Mueller, Attorney Dietlow, colleagues, friends, and most importantly, graduates. Attorney Dietlow's comment about anything is possible becomes especially relevant for all of our graduates. Let me also offer you a happy Cinco de Mayo. The conferral of academic degrees is a critical responsibility, the accomplishment of which signifies that degree recipients have successfully completed a sufficiently rigorous and enlightening curriculum of courses that provide appropriate preparation to assume roles of contribution, responsibility, leadership to our society. The faculty of Purdue University Northwest has evaluated the academic accomplishments of the candidates presented here today and have concluded that, pending the completion of any final outstanding requirements, each of these candidates meets the criteria for receiving a Purdue University degree. Based on that conclusion, the faculty recommends that the Purdue Board of Trustees confer appropriate degrees on the candidates. We are assembled here to celebrate that conferral, to congratulate our candidates, and to wish them all the best in the future. Thank you.
Professor Joy Colwell, Director of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the master's degree.
Good morning. All right. Will the candidates for the master's degrees please stand? These students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree. Each wears a hood, recognizing his or her academic discipline and symbolizing the completion of that advanced degree. With the approval of the faculty, they are now presented to receive their degrees.
We are honored that Trustee DeKruiger, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, is here today for the Conferral of Degrees. Trustee DeKruiger, please join me at the podium.
What a special day. Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of the Board of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I now confer upon you the degree of the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as the holder of a master's degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligation of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will Candidate Marshal, Mr. Roy Hamilton, please escort the candidates for graduate degrees forward to receive their diplomas? As the candidates make their way to the stage, please note they will be crossing in a random order. Raymond A. Alvarez. Carrie-Ann Nicole Jones. Christian T. Brown. Jordan Marie Reed. Nathan D. Dooley. Miranda Solan Fishback. Dante Thomas Giannini. Madison J. Gervais. Evan J. Sylvester. Jessica Marie Nunnery. Carrie Petzold Economou. Sarala Morrow. Suzanne M. Ruiz. Bianca S. Jones. Papa K. Otu. Ryan Elliott Sizemore. Martha J. Kelly. Dana Cole. Kevin Wayne Robertson. Rufus Adams. Christopher S. Holman. Gaurav Narashander Bhardwaj. Adam Sean Kamen. Jessica Cortez. Tong Jin. Liu Yicheng. Rachel Lee. Ma Yijia. Aoyang Yi. Qin Jiawei. Zhao Fan Hou. Kiryu Lu. Goranka Kasic. Aisha Haitham Yusuf. Yunju Bei. Vic Day. Pavel Kuzma. Reynaldo Ships. And Pratik Shah.
Congratulations, master's degree candidates.
Dr. Ralph Mueller, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost, will now recognize distinguished undergraduate students.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my joy and privilege to provide special recognition to those individuals receiving baccalaureate degrees who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement. The commencement booklet contains a statement of the basis upon which the status of distinction and highest distinction is determined. Candidates wearing black and gold cords symbolize this achievement. I invite the degree candidates who are graduating with highest distinction to please stand and remain standing. I also invite the degree candidates who are graduating with distinction to please stand and remain standing. On behalf of the Purdue trustees and the faculty of Purdue University Northwest, I congratulate you on your outstanding academic achievement. May you continue to be motivated by excellence. May you continue to be motivated by excellence and by high standards in your quest to make positive contributions throughout your life. Congratulations. You may be seated. I now introduce the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. John Rowan, who will recognize candidates of the Honors College.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize the candidates from the Honors College, and I invite those candidates to please stand and remain standing. These students have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Honors College, including completion of the academic curriculum and related coursework, substantive research in their areas of discipline, service engagement with the local community, and leadership across a range of diverse areas. These students have received and are wearing the Honors College medallion on gold and black ribbons. I invite the Honors College candidates to be seated.
At this time, I'm pleased to facilitate recognition of those individuals who have qualified to receive the Purdue University Northwest Chancellor's Medallion. The Chancellor's Medallion is presented to the graduating students who have achieved the highest grade point average within each of the academic colleges of Purdue University Northwest. We would like to present each of those graduates to you at this time. I invite Casey Kulesa of the College of Nursing to please come to the stage. I also invite Casey's family members to stand and share in this recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Jane Mutchler to present the candidates of the baccalaureate degrees from the College of Business.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Business, and I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing. Stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Associate Dean Cheryl Mordich to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Nursing.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree in the College of Nursing, and I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Before I present you for the formal awarding of degrees, I will charge each of you in my capacity as Purdue University Northwest's Chief Academic Officer. Today is Commencement Day. As the word commence indicates, this is the time of beginnings, not ends. A beginning of a journey to find your individual future. During the past few years, we have grown very fond and indeed very proud of you. So I will convey my charge through three distinct observations about you. Our first observation, innovation, is about your past, about your eagerness and readiness to innovate. You arrived on campus a few short years ago, the very beginning of what then seemed so far away, today, beginnings day. You came ready to learn about thinking, about listening, about speaking, and about doing. But also you were ready to explore others' points of view, others' ways of life, and others' explanations of what you assumed were universal truths. All led to this one goal, the one we're here to mark and celebrate today, to begin your future. Along your path at PNW, you learned to grow, to become an innovator of what will become your own individual future. And this brings me to our second observation about you, impact. It is about your future, your maturity as learned citizens to impact others, to bring about change. You prepared well for the day when you're ready to leave your mark. All the academic work is no good if ultimately it does not touch people. Children who need to be taught, patients who need your care, colleagues who need your advice, or neighbors who need your help. With your dedication, with your drive to make the world a better place, you will make academic knowledge have an impact on our constituent communities. One child, one patient, one colleague, and one neighbor at a time. So where then does your past, your eagerness to innovate, meet your future, your commitment to impact others? Well, they meet right here in the present, at this very moment. And this then is our third and final observation about you. you continued to improve. While you were a student at Purdue University Northwest, I hope we opened some doors for you, doors into your future, for you to walk through and innovate and impact and improve. So here then is my simple charge to you. When you see those open doors, explore what lies beyond. Right now in the present, be innovative in choosing your own future. Have the courage to walk through one of those doors. Walk through and find yourself. And it is okay too to turn around and walk back out and check another door, another future. But ultimately, do walk through one of the open doors. And as you do, if you see someone else behind you that needs a little extra encouragement, a little extra help to walk through that door, make an impact by engaging them to join you. Guide them through that door toward your connected and collective journeys to continuously improve yourselves and the world around you. Innovate, impact, improve. 3 words that guide your future. They define this beginnings day, and they are my charge to you. Please know that we are proud of you. Please know that we are proud of those who made all of this happen for you. But also know that we know that you should be very proud of yourselves. You did it. I wish you well, I congratulate you, and I salute you. Chancellor Keon, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements of undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. Having gained approval for graduation by the college faculties, I now present you to award their degrees.
I again invite Trustee DeKruiger to do the conferral of degrees.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and acting on behalf of the faculty of this institution, I now confer upon you, who have fulfilled the requirements, the appropriate baccalaureate degree, with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as the holders of this bachelor degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligation of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will each college marshal now escort the baccalaureate degree candidates forward to receive their diplomas? As the candidates make their way to the stage, please note that they will be crossing the stage in random order. Graduates, please be seated until your row is called.
The graduates of the College of Business, escorted by candidate Marshal Ms. Christian Tigg. Ana C. Ceballos. Christina Sue Toison. Aubria Denicia Linnell Clifton. Rachel Elizabeth Orsini. Abby Lee Raymond Brownlee. Lily Grace Homeyer. Jessica Erin Kaniewski. Dana Christine Lesniewski. Nicholas James Brandner. Christopher Dwayne McGee. Alexandria Ann Fernandez. Amanda T. Elizalde. Alan Thomas Pena. Corina Socorro Salazar. Matthew E. Bergen. Stephen Michael Medina, Jr. Nicholas A. Verta. John P. Curtin. Ian R. Clark. Paige L. Emerson. Svetlana Terziowski. Braylon M. Molenda. Brandon M. Four. Maria C. Malero. Amanda Lee Brown. Jasmine Monique Peoples. Lana T. Damron. Amanda R. Pearl. Lorenzo Filippo Giovanni. Brandon Eugene Zapetti. Andrew Stevenson Texter. Asia N. Hobbs. Paige L. Poplava. Megan Ashley Anderson. Joshua Dale Jakowski. Mark Polenick. Jacob Thomas Morse. Ryan John Kickert. Tyler A. Garzinski. Zachary Joseph Wachowski. Nick Anthony Rodriguez. Mason Diego Rhodes. Dominic A. Emerson. Nicholas Jerome Izaguirre. Rudolph J. Grill. Alexandra Ann Piekarski. Evelyn Mendoza. Ria Bharat Kumar Patel. Jessica Nicole Garza. Rachel Ann Gregory. Jasmine S. Hubbard. Nathan Earl Brown. Ryan P. Taylor. Dominic Robert Witkowski. Brian James McDonald. Brittany Marie Maloney. Jocelyn R. Lockett. Abdullah Hassan Al-Jabbar. Indira Abanto. Marissa Tara Lang. Brittany W. Bolton. Sherry Marie Kanura. Katrina Penna. Jillian A. Brandt. Graciano Santos. Kelsey Rajesh Kumar Zalavadia. Oscar Aragon Jr. William Durrell Rayburn II. Abby N. Milligan. Jacqueline Victoria Arnold. Asma Y. Musla. Megan Hayes. Kayla R. Elsie. Leah Thompson. Virginia Ann Pruitt. Nydia Saucedo Payan. Alejandro Cervantes. Samantha Renee Hammer. Courtney L. Smith. Kylie A. Pelton. Emily A. Gajewski. Sean M. Brown. Caitlin Kane Sesich. Kimberly A. Cordy. Jonathan Dean Matura. Angelica Marie Lopez. Rosa Nelly Contreras. Binghui Li. Marisol Rodriguez. Frank M. Johnson. Jessica Nicole Tejeda. Crystal Ann Hernandez. Stephen Rob Jr. IV. Ryan K. Ware. Elvis Slaughter Jr. Mahmoud M. Madia. Rachel E. Hollingshead. Jonathan R. Kirby. Christine Gonzalez. Jano Park. George Thomas Flahos. Sarah Jane Minch. Mary Catherine Thomas. Caitlin L. Crows. Teresa Nancy Araiza. Caitlin Aaron Skarecki. Zachary Russell Tarno. Katie M. Dominguez. Nicholas W. Whitvet. Andrew J. Ritter. Jihao Shi. Lauren Elizabeth Rothbauer. Jeremy Dark. And Isaiah Deshawn Sistrunk. The graduates of the College of Business. The graduates of the College of Nursing, escorted by candidate Marshal Ms. Heather Cook. Casey T. Kolesa. Adriana Cabrera. Alicia R. Harrington. Melissa L. Gensel. Kelsey Marie Gilfillan. Teresa Plummer. Lisa C. Morgan. Takara Phillips. Francis S. Fulgencio. Mark Barnachea. Gloria Ann Hicks. Sherelle L. Barksdale. Loretta Josane Carbo. Lauren B. Tate. Irma Lindsay Chamba Backup. Jody Lynn Hilka. Christine Louise Worster. Ordell Harvey Morse. Catherine M. Saima. Jose L. Barrera. Stephanie K. Camp. Samantha Osoria. Robert Patrick De La Rosa Toledo. Carla E. Carlson. Nautisha Juanita Edwards. Sylvia A. Duda. Elsbieta Droll. Nancy L. Arndt. Margaret M. Green. Laura L. Cutright. Elethea O'Donnell. Diana Rosero. Casey M. Cieslak. Melinda Birdwell. Janet Galiza Domingo. Karina Cano Medrano. Sonia Andrade. Sarah K. Musson. Nikki Love. Crystal Nicole Kirchhoff. Paige Ann Perez. Tori Marie Larson. Chelsea Reve Cole. Daniela Celeste Bagatella. Sophia Marie Chapa. Anna Rose Dooley. Brittany Ray Carr. Kelly Jo Walsh. Trevor A. Decker. Hannah Christine Kelly. Mahima Upadhyaya. Kelly Marie Asperez. Ashley L. Pabe. Helen Izien Duradola. Chinyere Okioma Ajina. Carolyn I. Blondin. Sarah Wandy Lupe del Toro. Alejandro Michael Infante. Zachary J. Lacine. DeAndrea R. Carter. Stephanie S. Nolan. Oluwakemi Aregbasola. Christina Evans. Elizabeth McDonald Whitman. Colleen Sarah Schoolgen. And Sabrina Richardson. The graduates of the College of Nursing.
To signify completion of your degree requirements and receipt of your diploma, I now invite all graduates to move the tassels on their mortarboards to the left side. Congratulations, you are now Purdue University Northwest graduates. That wasn't in the script, but I love it. To officially welcome you to a Purdue Northwest alumni contingent comprising of thousands, I invite Ms. Ashley Germadinos, Executive Director of the Purdue Northwest Alumni Community, to the podium.
Congratulations to the newest Purdue University Northwest alumni. I am honored to be the first to welcome you into the PNW alumni community. As graduates, you join a community of over 64,000 strong, made up of CEOs and entrepreneurs, of lawyers and advocates, of leading scholars and researchers, Emmy Award winners, mayors, state representatives, journalists, nurses, physicians, authors, judges, and so much more. Each a story that has added to our rich history and paved the way for future Purdue Northwest students. It doesn't seem like very long ago that I was sitting where you are today. I am a very proud 2008 graduate of the Purdue Northwest School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. I reflect fondly on my time as an undergrad. It wasn't always easy, but this is the place where I met some of my closest friends, made lifelong connections, and the place where I met my husband. When I entered the workforce, it became evident to me and my supervisors that the education I received at Purdue Northwest prepared me to succeed in my field of study and beyond. Outside of my own family, the biggest supporters I have had throughout my career have been my professors and other PNW community members. Before I returned to serve PNW, it was deeply important to me to stay connected. These people continued to be my mentors and advocates, creating new connections for me. Purdue Northwest is more than books, bricks, and mortar. Its real value is in its community of people. So my advice for you is to stay connected. Shoot a quick email to your favorite professor to check in, or let them know of a new project you are working on. Encourage your company to recruit from PNW. Find me on LinkedIn. Keep up with what's happening here on campus and in our alumni community. Your network is strong. Stay engaged in it. You each have your own stories and connections that you have created in your time here. Now, class of 2018, go out there and continue writing your story and paving the way for future Purdue Northwest students. I am so proud to call you fellow alumni. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ashley. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Dooley, Student Government Vice President, will now respond to the graduates on behalf of all Purdue University Northwest students. Anna?
Good morning, graduates. My name is Anna Dooley, and I am a senior nursing major at Purdue University Northwest. I want to welcome Chancellor Keon, and Provost Mueller, and trustee, faculty, staff, honored family, and guests. Today, when you walk out of these doors, you're leaving it all behind. Every test, quiz, care plan, and project. The successes, failures, joys, and frustrations. You have overcome each of these challenges and are present now because of your intellect, your endurance, and maybe because of the helping hand others have offered to you along the way. The name Purdue University Northwest stands behind you now. Don't take it lightly. This degree has prepared you to be an effective agent of change in your community. And your community needs you. Your community needs highly trained individuals who can handle adversity and differences. It needs individuals who can envision meaningful goals and who can work hard together to achieve these goals. The journey we take through college is very similar to the journey of a very famous violinist by the name of Itzhak Perlman. Itzhak Perlman is a virtuoso violin player who has been performing internationally with major orchestras for over 50 years. He exudes a lot of joy with each note that he plays, and a certain tenderness that lends itself to his style. Despite the carefree nature of his music, Itzhak Perlman has never known an easy life. After contracting polio as a very young child, he was forever disabled and cannot walk across the concert stage without the aid of a pair of crutches. Every time Perlman chooses to perform, he also chooses the task of stepping out on stage and painfully crutching toward his chair in front of the audience. Once this difficult journey is complete, he takes up his violin and flawlessly leads the audience on a brilliant musical journey. Such a performance is not merely taken for granted. The long journey it took to reach the audience intensifies the appreciation of those who listen. College is hard. It's arduous and sometimes boring. Yet without these challenges, we would not fully appreciate the degrees we earn today. Only a small percentage of the population of the entire world has the opportunity to even attend college, and many who begin do not finish the challenge. As a Purdue University college graduate walking across the stage, consider the long journey of Perlman crossing the stage to face his audience and share his gifts with the world. You also have endured a long journey, but today it's all worth it. You are now primed and ready to stand before the world and be the brilliant educator, engineer, nurse, scientist, politician, writer, accountant, or entrepreneur, standing in the spotlight and sharing your gifts and abilities. But before you move on to those bigger and better things, take a moment and say thank you. Think of those family members who cheered you on with a hug, a warm meal, a word of encouragement. Think of your friends and classmates who provided a listening ear, a helpful hand, a study guide, a good joke to keep your spirits up. Think of the professors and tutors who patiently sat down with you to ensure that you truly learned and passed your classes. Think of your personal community that has supported your endeavors. I'd like to thank God and thank my family for all of their support. And now get ready to go back to your communities. Your long, difficult journey has ended. It's time to go out and perform and give back to those communities and what they have put into you. I wish you all the best, and congratulations, my fellow graduates.
Thank you, Anna. We've heard some common themes today from a number of the people who've had an opportunity to speak to you. And, you know, one of the common themes really rests on the diversity of our campus and what I hope is the most important, which is inclusivity of our campus. It's a complex world that we live in with many, many moving parts. We look just at today. We have Jewish History Month. We have Derby Day and Cinco de Mayo. So we have a very diverse culture, and I know all of you will take that as an opportunity to advance each other. As our provost mentioned, it's important to sometimes lend a helping hand as you're moving through your journey as well. But everyone who spoke today talked about how hard you've worked, and your hard work has not yet ended. I urge you to continue your hard work, be successful in life, and for those of you who certainly decide to stay here in Northwest Indiana, help us develop a high quality, innovative, and exciting Northwest Indiana. Congratulations once again to the graduates of Purdue University Northwest Spring Class of 2018, as well as their families. There will be an informal reception for graduates and guests immediately following the ceremony in Alumni Hall, located on the 3rd floor of the Student Union Library building across 173rd. I hope you will attend. I ask that you remain seated for the recessional of the platform party and faculty members. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th commencement of Purdue University Northwest has now concluded.